So what really is happening in the world today? Do we see that pride is arising and humility decreasing? How about infanticide, sexual perversion, anger, hatred, intolerance, and the God-ordained marriage of a man and a woman being set aside for anything goes? And also lawlessness arising, with God's parameters for living being pushed aside. All this is because of our pride, believing that we can make up our own rules, what is right and what is wrong. In place of God, we have become gods unto ourselves. So what is happening now is that our God is allowing us to be influenced by the God of this world, who does not want us to look to our loving Creator for guidance and direction and truth. Just contemplate some of the things happening in our schools today. Our youth are becoming confused about who they are. The indoctrination of you can be any gender you so choose to be, setting aside God's plan for procreation.
To celebrate the homosexual lifestyle and that gender is fluid. In other words, your gender is not dependent on what parts you were born with, but rather what you feel like in the moment.
There's people that are boys, there's people that are girls. There are people whose gender might be a little bit of both or might even be neither.
It is no wonder our youth are being confused and committing suicide at alarming rates. Some of the talking heads we see in the media are deluded, deceived, ignorant, or are actually pushing a godless agenda. Also, many of our political leaders and powerful people are bowing down to the God of this world, seducing them to push this ungodly agenda. They are ignorant to the fact that they are being manipulated by unnamed powers that want to control and indoctrinate them to bring in a one world government and a seductive world leader that promises peace. Then are we recognizing God's judgment in part, beginning when our God is giving us confused, deluded, and inept leaders that have no understanding of God's righteous decrees?
Build back better, blah, blah, blah.
The push towards a digital currency is another sign or red flag signaling a setup for this one world government and ruler to use to control all our buying and selling.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
The portrayal of evil, wickedness, and Satan worship is now mainstream, as we can see at the Grammys and other entertainment venues, and also the normalization and acceptance of sin.
I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre. God bless you. Thank you so much to the Grammys.
My wife and their mama,
Brandy Carlo!
And then the push towards unifying all religions to a one world faith as predicted in Scripture to be used by the Antichrist and his false prophet. And the many religious leaders leading this movement now as we speak. Even some of Christianity is being deceived and manipulated into this agenda so we can all get along and live in peace. Yes, the man of peace is coming, and he will be welcomed by all to solve all the world's problems.
The Bible clearly reveals to us that there will be a man who will take control of all things and will govern the world like no other leader in the history of humanity has been able to do. This man will be charismatic and will have a speech that will conquer everyone. His power of persuasion will convince the inhabitants of the earth that in his hands all the problems of the nations will finally be solved. The truth is that the world has never seen anyone as powerful, influential, and intelligent as this man. And this will happen for one reason only, because he will have in his hands the power that comes directly from the enemy of our souls, Satan.
Scripture has laid out all these events happening now and soon to happen. So be aware, be awake, be ready, and then pray. That our God will keep you from or protect you through all the trouble now and soon to happen as predicted in Scripture. And then remember what the Prince of Peace has said to all of us who believe, that we will know the truth, and the truth will set us free. Free from fear and free from the lies and deception of this world, then free to spend eternity with our loving Creator forever.